the shower was kind of holding me hostage here, so I kind of fell behind. Now that got all the holiday stuff out the way, gotta get channel. So where's everybody? Turbo, Dan, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I've not been on the last couple Tuesdays. Had too much going on, and then my daughter's in the hospital last week. Jason had a bunch of shit going on. It was pretty hectic. What's everybody else been up to? I was able to get on Jason's live and John's and kind of catch up a little bit, but I didn't have time to spend a whole bunch of time on here. What's up, Dakota? Man, I'm working on new junk. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm putting a 3.6 in a Durango right now. I had someone try and access my Microsoft account, which I have to sign into, and I sign in on my laptop. And my Windows Defender and McAfee, they did their job. They stopped them. But there was 35 plus attempts of them getting onto my Microsoft account. And someone then tried to access my YouTube. So they both notified me, and I had to change passwords. Working and whatnot. Yeah, same as everybody else. The weather's got everybody cooped up, can't go out and do nothing. It's depressing. We've gone out to dinner and stuff, but it's cool, but it's not the racetrack. But yeah, some dirtbag tried to hack my YouTube, but luckily I've got that 2-part whatever thing I've got going on in there. You have to staying inside watching YouTube and getting fat. Yeah, all my accounts are linked to my phone too, but I had you got the 2-part. God dang it! What the hell is it called? I've got a separate email and my phone number to where you have to actually sign in and get like a generated code to be able to sign into it. So it was a pain in the butt, but I got it done. Let's see what the hell was it called? 2-step authentication. Yeah. Did someone else go live tonight? Let's see. Right, Dan. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, our work email is set up like that, but they've got a high dollar firewall. I don't have the money to spend on that kind of crap at my house, so Can't stay. Family's visiting. Have fun. Cool and finished. Thanks for stopping in, dude. We'll get some more corn smoking here soon. I gotta get a blanket for the smoker anyway. I'll send you a video. What's up, bro? Let me see. I want to. Tell the family to leave. Depends on what family it is. So I got home at like 5:45. Come in here, turn the computer on, and it was froze. I restarted it 3 times and it wouldn't work. So I had to access my Microsoft from my phone. What's up, Mohawk? That's right, Dakota. You only see me once a week. They got to go. Tell them to come back tomorrow. But I had to get on my phone and fix my freaking Microsoft account so it let me sign into my laptop. I don't know why they got to be doing that crap. Just got nothing else to do, I guess. Man, I don't. Bilford Brails Ford. Yeah. What's Mohawk up to? Yeah. Well, my laptop, he, long story short, this is an old laptop. It's 12 years old. It's out of date. I bought 2 in 10 years. Well, he's going to go through my laptop and update it. I added a backlight to hopefully brighten it up a little bit. I don't look like I'm so cloudy. But he's going to put a solid state drive in it for me, update the processor, and can't do anything with video card or the internet card because it's part of it. But there's a USB thing I can try and see if it'll help. Yeah. Well, at the price he's probably getting them at, I mean, there's a good chance he could, Dakota. That's a good chance. Dude, I built a ton of computers. Built a couple for my kids, and I built my own. But the one I built for me, I spent too much money on, so I quit building those. Dakota, you mean you've never picked up a computer off the curb? Funny thing is people don't know, but they leave their hard drive in their computer and leave all that sensitive information in it. So when I get rid of a computer, I keep the hard drive and I burn it. And if you've ever used your credit card on it, bank card, social security number, anything, it's all in there. 3 out of 5 of my 5 desktop computers I have had built myself. These are the only ones that still work. Hell yeah. Good job, man. It's it's fun to build them. It's nice when they work. Getting ones that work nice, smooth, with no hiccups, that's a challenge. And if you've got one working like that, hell yes, good for you. I'm ready to. Days this laptop does perfect. Like right now, it's working great. Knock on wood. Other days, it's sketchy as hell. But that's why he's going to put another different hard drive in and run this as a slave. It'll speed it up and make it work a little smoother. You don't have a curve. Okay. You need to go up there and hit those less royal areas. And they set out brand new lawnmowers. They don't want no more dirt bikes, bicycles. Said all kinds of stuff. Uh-oh. We got company back here.
Bad company.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Not bad. I had a lot of shit happen the last couple of weeks, but
Well, I guess that's really just life.
Such is life. That is true.
That's it happens to me all the time, unfortunately.
Well, my daughter had brain surgery. She had missed one of her doses. She got put in the hospital for a week. JB, what's happening, dude?
I'm sorry to hear that.
It happens. Hey, Brooke, how goes it?
It goes.
That's what my doctor basically said, that
If he didn't get his head out of his ass, he was gonna die.
basically.
At like 30, and that's in like 7 more years.
So that's not a long life to live. So I had to
that's why I exercise, man.
I got to make a lot of changes, but they're probably for the best.
You'll get some of these.
You can't even see them, these weak, puny arms. I mean, they're all blubber.
Well, you know what's funny is I never actually pushed myself to make that. It's just how it happened, because you stay in a good regiment and just, work out and exercise and stretch. It's just what happens.
Exercising is so boring.
Right. And eating is so fun. That's the problem.
Oh, dude, I know.
It's the biggest problem with losing weight or
wait
gaining
till
muscle.
you hit 40, brother.
I'm sure.
Oh, it sucks. I'll be 48 this July.
Whew.
You're old enough to be my dad.
Thanks, Brooke. That's great. Thank you so much. Hey, Ron, what's going on, man?
Hey, it's Ron. Yeah, I wanted to come enjoy it. Like, so we literally I'm like, your live come up too quick
and we literally worked out for half our time that we normally do.
Because your live was coming up.
I appreciate it, but you should have finished. That's the important part.
Well, it started at, we can either go work out for a half hour or 20 minutes when we had 21 minutes left of your live.
Actually, it's better for you to do 2 20-minute sessions rather than 1:30. Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
I've never heard that.
Yep. And you stretch both times.
Like before and after?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever stretched in my life.
Yeah, dude, you get the blood flowing so much, it gives you so much energy the next day. It's insane.
Whoa.
I stretch every morning because of my back.
Maybe you should do that.
I probably need to.
So you can go and get like a yoga mat to be able to lay on, so you're not laying straight on the floor.
Right.
And just because I don't expect my kids to, hold my 10-foot long leg up, I go in my hallway and use the wall to stretch out my hamstrings and then things like that.
Cool.
So when you're in the morning, dude, it's hard to get your ass motivated. So
right. Usually I'm up, dressed, brush teeth, and out the door in
like 5 minutes.
Well, that's fine, but you got to be able to fit the rest of it in there.
Right.
It shouldn't be any problem because he shows up like an hour early to his building.
I go into work early.
Like they gave him a key. They're like, here, you always show up.
I like Ron's version of losing weight. I don't think he's right, but I like it.
he's halfway right.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, it does help.
Well, I just don't want
So-
to die at 30, so whatever keeps me from doing that.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
I
sure
drink
they're being drastic, but it's still
I
truthful
drink a
to an extent.
smoothie with lunch every day too.
I'd be down for
She
a
likes
smoothie.
strawberry banana smoothies from White Castle.
Oh,
Zero pop.
I don't drink pop. I have my water.
I don't
He's
drink
got-
regular pop.
He's got Diet Pepsi. It's the same thing.
Stop.
It's worse for you, but
He goes,
Just get rid of it.
we've tried that, and he's like, I see no results, and jumps right back on it.
well, usually, okay, so this time around, I'm seeing more results when I don't drink water.
Which is a bunch
No.
of crap.
Negative. You don't see results within days or weeks. You see results within months.
Well, we've been 1 month and I've dropped 10 pounds.
Right.
Of the
So
exercising, but you're still drinking.
if
Diet
you'd
Pepsi.
stop drinking water, or stop drinking pop
Right.
and start drinking nothing but water, stop drinking pop, dude. You'll lose 10, 15 pounds in just a week or two.
I
I'm
tried
50
telling him that, so we'll see if he listens to you.
According to the
Maybe he'll
doctors,
listen to me.
189 is what I should weigh.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, when I was 180, I was at an unhealthy weight. Like, I was too skinny.
You're also like surgery bound too.
Well, yeah, that was when, I guess that's when I had my surgery. So I was like scrawny and weak. But
You're very tiny.
200 was my goal.
Got 57 more pounds.
Yeah, 50. Well, we don't know. It might be less
The
now.
excessive sex life weight loss comes from worry about being a dad.
Oh, God.
My problem is I think the practice is what got me because I had 4 girls.
Well, Ron's got the fix. See, like, he must have all of the answers because he says, snip, snip, old McDonald.
Hey, look, we tried that. He didn't answer the phone. You want to know why? It says the urology group on
I
it.
didn't know what that
He
meant.
goes, I don't know what that means. And I'm like, oh, see if I ever make an appointment for you ever again.
Uh,
I'm like, they were supposed to call you. You were supposed to answer.
And I didn't.
I'm like, what the hell did you think urology meant?
yeah, I drink a berry smoothie every day at lunch, and I eat a light lunch. Dinner, I pour it on just because you're allowed to. But
Right.
Do you
that
eat
morning
breakfast?
thing, I eat a banana.
A banana. I like bananas.
I'm not a fruit guy either.
I like bananas.
Yeah, you got to change that.
I remember.
He barely eats vegetables. If it's not broccoli or green beans, he won't eat it. Or corn.
I don't eat corn very often. It has to be good corn. Usually people suck at cooking corn.
What's happening, Vito? Good to have you, man. How are you?
But I wanted to come on and announce the new, I don't want to say process, but Scott with Heavens Mopars,
Yes.
I want to help him out. So every t-shirt we sells, all the profit goes to him.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that wants to buy a shirt and support the Charger that everybody says it will never be a Charger again, get a hold of me or comment, and we will get you taken
That's
care
fair.
of.
I like
Fair.
it.
$10. We got up to 4X.
Vino, where are you from? Just interested. What's up, Dean?
So I didn't want to rob you live or nothing.
No,
but
no, you're fine, dude.
We will get
Holler it out there all you need to. That's anything to help him out.
we should probably get all the colors out, every size, just to show them. Yeah, we have to get new shirts. I'm really just going to do away with all the ones we
Dean,
got.
you're cool.
And I want new ones with the Laguna actually on the car or on the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm at Heavens Mopars. Really want to see his Charger going. Yeah, it would be sweet.
So pretty much for every $10 you spend, 7 of that goes to him.
Cool.
We just want to break even. So Usually it's $4, but
What's
I'm
up,
not even going to
Don?
include the vinyl. You know, that'll just go straight to him. I guess I should.
Don
point
snuck
to
in
him.
here.
Who did?
Don.
Oh, there's One-Eyed Cat.
It's like
Speaking of that, Don,
One-eyed cat. Yeah, there he is.
do you want another one of those blue shirts?
your
Your One-Eyed Cat shirt that we made you.
cats are idiots.
If you do, let me know and we will make it and send it to you. We got one of those shirts left, and I don't have
We
a
don't
use
know
for
what to do
it.
with it.
So
You know that song that's like, "Okay now, ladies."
there's
Like,
one of them.
I want you to do this.
Good
with my
looking.
white shirt.
Me or the shirt? Oh, the pink.
Okay now, ladies. Yeah.
If you want to get your
Yeah.
girlfriend something, there's pink.
This is my favorite.
Well, this is everybody's favorite. Oh,
Oh, where's
There
the
you go.
gold?
gold with black.
Okay now, ladies.
Are you good?
Yeah.
I can't see that. Can you see that?
It's like
Hell
green.
yeah.
Green.
Yep.
Green with gray, and that's all.
We got navy blue with white ones too, but they obviously ain't the small to large box, so I don't know where they.
So Don says absolutely. So
Cool. I'll have to dig that design
or accept PayPal. You got Venmo,
I got Venmo, Cash App.
Cash App.
You can Facebook pay me.
You have that? I didn't know that. Facebook Pay, whatever that is.
Well, it's like Message Pay or Messenger Pay. You can get my number, send me money that way. Whichever.
Any new koozies? Ron asks.
No.
Do you remember the American flag ones? Because that's the only new ones we got.
Yeah.
I do not. I just got the regular initialed one.
That one I think. I got a shelf next to me that has everything almost on it.
Mine says LBP. That was it. They're not vital up there, brother. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. You want? I got earplugs too. Yeah, can't see that.
Oh, nice.
Around.
I don't have one of those. That's cool.
What was stupid about those?
We'll send you one.
Yeah.
We'll leave it out. They're cheaper than the plain black.
They're cheaper than the plain black ones. They were like almost
Weird.
$1 cheaper.
I still owe you for those too because I never got the no names. I was supposed to pay you then.
Ah. It's fine.
I've sent a lot to people, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, we want to sell all those shirts so that, because I think a lot of Heaven's Mopars is not the problem of getting the work done; it's getting the money to get here or get to No Name Nationals, I guess.
Well, I got to put lifters in my truck. They started making noise last week.
That stinks. What is it?
Silverado.
Oh, so it's LS then, right? That's not too bad then.
No, I mean I can do them in just a couple hours, but that's still not. It's no fun. I'm
No,
not making any
I'm-
money doing
no.
that.
Right. But like, I got a buddy that's got a Hemi that just did the same thing. Has a lifter tick. What's
Yeah.
worse now because he drove it. But and I was, not almost cornered, but almost cornered to be working on it. I'm regretting that.
Well, mine comes and goes right now. It's not solid yet,
Okay.
so I got a little bit of time.
Hell, you might be able to use a stock cam still.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Don't tell the insurance company.
So listen, this whole No Name Nationals thing has been going on for 3 years, and I had no idea till the other day until I seen your last name on Facebook that you were Jason's brother.
Honey.
I said, "Who's Rob Hayes?" And he goes, "Rob's Rods and Streetcars." And I'm like, "What?" And I said,
You're not
Are you
blonde
sure?
either, so
He goes, "Yeah,
Oh,
that's
she
Jason's
blonde.
brother." And I'm like,
oh, is she?
"Oh."
Not naturally blonde, but there's
There's
blonde
some
there.
highlights in there, but that's about it. They may have got too close to the root.
Yeah. You don't remember any of the lives where, the two brothers of Don and Ron and Rob and Jason?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. All right.
You'd have to meet her and talk like a full conversation to
I wouldn't
understand where her brain is, like on any given day.
It's
How'd that go again?
Yeah, probably couldn't repeat that. Mine's not any better. I have horrible memory.
Is it HAYS?
Yes. No E.
There you go. Yeah,
Good job.
the mic's pretty good. I bought a. I don't know. Hopefully, this doesn't make a bunch of noise.
I'll just message him. That's his mic.
Yeah.
Blue
Nice.
Snowball. I've wanted one since I was a kid, and I had some money to buy one, so I thought, why not now?
I use this guy right here.
Yeah.
It does perfect. One of my laptop does okay. It
Yeah.
picks up far too much surrounding, like when the grandbaby cries or
Well, this one would pick up a pin drop over there. So
right. You don't want to hear what's going on in here.
is it a madhouse?
Well, not as bad as it used to be, but way back when I tried to get on Jason's lives, a long time ago,
Yeah.
I would go into my bedroom or out in the dining room, something like that, and trying to get on there. And there's so much going on in the background, I couldn't do it.
Right.
I try to hush them up, and it still wouldn't work.
I went to the first year of the No Name Nationals. She'll remember you.
Oh yeah, man. Shoot, I think everybody here was there. I mean, Ron didn't have a car and Don didn't have his the first year.
Hey, Jason says there is a brother, believe it or not.
Another brother,
Oh, another brother. Yeah.
Jeremy.
We don't know Jeremy. Well, I don't.
Hey, you do.
I do?
You've seen him on here. He's the one we had
Now you got me puzzled.
building
like her.
the well, remember he was building the relays and the circuit boards, the fuse boxes and stuff.
He was not there for that.
I don't think I was. I'm not 100% sure I was there for that one. I think he's right.
Shit.
Mohawk says the wire guy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the wire guy. That's about right.
He just messaged him and said, "Hey, shoot me your address. I'll get this koozie sent out."
Oh, it should be on there. I think I've sent you stuff before.
Well, I'm on my phone, not yours.
Oh, I guess you could check my phone. That's fine.
All right.
Oh,
Dakota's time.
what the heck, Dakota? Why not?
It's hard for him to get out there.
Where's he from?
I can't remember now, but
Seems like he had a good time. I mean, I watched his video and stuff. But I mean, if it's impossible to get there,
well, I'm going to pay for the third one, and hopefully I get to make it.
I know you guys. I was like,
The only reason I didn't go is because the guy that was there was in rehab, so I couldn't leave.
oh,
Yeah, it's stupid.
about 7 hours trip, long way in an old junk car. Well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to drive it
It's
there.
8 hours for us, Dakota.
I mean, it's 6 for us.
Ron and Don, it's like 18.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. Hell, I got a short one and I want it to be closer to me.
Yeah.
But when you have something that, breaks on you twice, literally both times I've been to this event, I've broke something.
Well, that's what it's about. Race, break, repeat, right?
Right.
Dakota says somehow
Oh.
it didn't break my car.
Oh, I forgot.
It's a GM. Come on.
So, Brooke had this
What'd
thing
you-
on TikTok. I
Yeah.
don't know, what did it say?
It said it was going to predict the best day
In
of 2024, and it was September 21st.
Nice.
We'll
Right.
be excited. So I guess we'll see. Is that Thursday
I don't
or Friday?
know. We'll look.
It's that Saturday.
Oh,
Oh,
you know what's on Saturday?
right.
No,
What?
the 28-10-5 shootout. I hope so, unless the car's broken by then. Well, I'll break it while we're there. That's for sure.
What's happening, John?
I mean, I sent the other one out without any stickers or anything. So, I mean, you shouldn't need tape on it.
I'll send him my stress, man.
There's Mr. Wilburn.
Here you be. Going out tomorrow.
Thank you, honey.
Doxed him.
Welcome. What'd you say?
I'm messing with you.
Well, quit. What'd you try to do to me the other day? And I completely blocked it. It was the greatest thing ever. Oh, I went in your face and you tried to do it back, and I was like,
Oh yeah, and the English just have a third one too. Buffalo Brian. I forgot about him. So there's
Wait, brother Brian. Oh, so
the
they got a
two
brother.
trios.
Don,
Damn.
Ron, and Brian.
Good Lord, it's a big family.
Are you for real keeping this salsa?
Nah. Dakota's timeout. I'm gonna buy a Ferrari. If you buy a Ferrari, pick me up in it. I've never ridden in one, and I need to ride in one before I die, just so that I can say I've ridden in a Ferrari. And then when I realize that they're garbage, I was like,
Dude,
save it for the
they
rich
suck
people.
to sit in, especially if you got big feet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I know I'm gonna hate every luxury car I sit in. I know I'm gonna hate.
Yeah, they're made for little bitty guys.
What are you doing? What do you mean?
Dakota doesn't want to lose to a 62 Valiant with a Continental kit. LOL.
Man, that car surprised me. I figured. I mean, it ran sevens or something like that, didn't it?
What?
Or was I wrong
Valiant?
about that? Or I'm totally off.
I think it went 10.
Okay, maybe that was what it was. He wanted nines. Yeah,
What's
that's
happening,
right.
Dr. Art? Good to see you, man. I've not been on in a while, Dr. Art. It's good to see you.
Him and Ken have been joining my lives occasionally, which is
Has
nice.
he?
And I appreciate it.
I actually saw yours, but I was in the hospital with my daughter, and it would not let me join.
Most of my lives, I don't know how or why people join, especially when I'm by myself.
Well, no, I mean, I was just trying to join to be able to, shoot the shit, but I didn't have
Right.
enough signal to join.
Like, I hate doing a live by myself because, like, I'm not a good spokesperson.
Talks to himself.
Like, I can talk to myself, but does anybody really want to listen to that?
No.
The other night, there's a lot of people that did, which was nice. John, he drove it once. What's the second time? He's capable of it, and I know he can. He's got the guts to. I couldn't do it. I would be terrified, but he's got the guts, and he's already proved that it works.
What'd you break on yours this time, Dylan?
It has a rod knock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm trained. I have a Duramax in the garage right now, and I'm
Sorry.
having brake problems. And the scanner that I need to bleed the ABS system is being borrowed right now. So the only
You
way
got a power
get that-
bleeder?
huh?
Do you have a power bleeder or pressure bleeder?
Oh, we've already bled the brakes, but you got to do the ABS unit with something separate.
No, you don't.
I've never done it, but it's got it's a spongy pedal, and then it sounds like it's hissing at me, and I'm not sure what it is.
And it's Hydro Boost.
Yeah, it's the 3/4 ton. I don't know.
Hissing at you. You're going to have a spongy pedal with Hydro Boost. Period. It's still spongy as hell as long as it
But I
doesn't
mean-
fade.
I can literally go to the floor with it almost.
Okay, but that's Hydro Boost. So if you're holding and you hold your foot steady and it
Yeah.
just slowly fades, you've got air in the system.
No, it just goes straight to the floor.
Okay, yeah.
There's something wrong for some reason.
Jason said take it out and lock up the brakes a couple times.
Jeez. I'm afraid to move it because, I mean, even if I open up the door, I can't stop it from rolling. Like, let's say the brakes
Yeah.
aren't there. And if I go forward, I'm going into my brother's race car. So
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm trying to make a good decision on doing sketchy stuff.
Well, we have a pressure bleeder that we use at the shop.
Yeah.
I never have to do an automated bleed. Never.
I don't know. Like I said, it may not be that problem, but I'm trying to do everything that I can without doing physical stuff where I hurt the truck or something else.
Did you block the rubber hoses off and make sure it's the master cylinder not bleeding off?
No, I didn't. Try that.
Block off all the rubber hoses and then see if the pedal's rock solid.
If that is, what is that? I'm not good with brakes. Just have an FYI.
So if it's solid brake pedal,
yeah,
then you take off one line lock at a time. And if it falls to the floor, there's your problem.
Oh, okay. That helped me get the brakes on the car done. And honestly, that's the only brakes I've ever done, except for my red truck. And it's been so long since I've done them, I don't even remember what all we did to them or if we did anything to them.
Yeah. Well, Hydro Boost systems, dude, they were really, really, really nice systems. They stop really good.
Well, that's what's on the ramp truck. And
yeah,
I figured if it was on there, I could figure this one out, but I'm probably just missing it. And this truck's kind of been dragging me down. Like I want to go work on all the fun stuff like the ramp truck and the race car, but here I am stuck working on a newer truck. So
now I would try and still before you do an automated bleed, I would still try and do if you can get your hands on a pressure bleeder to put a couple pounds in the master cylinder.
Well, that's what, okay. So, I got connects to the caps, got a line to like a sprayer pump kind of deal.
Yeah.
With a gauge on it. I put 15 pounds on it.
Yeah. You only need a couple pounds. But even 15, go ahead.
It went through and bled the four corners.
To the point of having no air left?
I mean, it's get straight fluid, right? It shouldn't have, if there's fluid coming out with no air pockets, theoretically I should have no air in it, I would think.
Yeah. Well, like Jason said, can you pump the pedal up and get a solid pedal?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever tried that.
I would try that.
I mean, when I'm sitting still with the truck off, yes. I've not tried it with the truck on running. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, if you're getting clean fluid with no air in it, it's probably air stuck in the ABS block. Our machine may be a little bit different. I can take those trucks and put brake line kits on them.
Right.
To where there's zero brake fluid in the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
Put that pressure bleeder on it. 5 minutes later, it's done.
It'd be nice.
Another thing you can do, are the brake lines okay? Can they be broke loose at all? Or are they rusty?
Oh, no, they're brand new stainless.
Okay, so.
Well, not brand new. They're a couple years old, but they're still stainless, so they're not.
So put Brooke up in the car and crack the line loose at the ABS block, just one at a time. Have her push it down and hold it and then close it. You'll know if there's any air in any of the lines down there at the ABS block. Don't pump it up.
Yeah, just down.
Crack it loose, push it down, and hold it. Me and Jason went through that a couple times on a few different cars, and that seems to be the best way.
Yeah, I hate. That's why I'm like, it's dragging me down because it's pretty much been a process between straightening the frame, welding the core support pocket back on, and getting the core support and getting all the
Mhm.
parts, and then I swear to God, everything on this truck's specific for 2000 to 2002. And so if it doesn't come off of one of those years' trucks, I can't use it.
Right.
I think I was searching for a fender for
Oh, wow.
a while.
Well, try those couple things and see what happens.
But it will make a really nice truck once I'm finished with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do my lifters before I go and try any more road trips like that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be doing that on the side of the road. Not if you love your life at all. If you don't, then hell, try it. Might be fun. I wouldn't do it.
If we live through it, we can say we did it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. See, I'd be the person to call a tow truck, have it towed to No Name Nationals, and then have someone take me to the parts stores, just so I have tools around me.
Jason's got his truck set up pretty good now for he's doing his mobile RV stuff.
Well, that's good. So you guys gonna camp if you guys come this year?
Oh yeah.
See, she booked a hotel, and all I need is tires for my enclosed, and then we can sleep in it and take it down there. So I want to do that, but that's not the most important thing on my list. So it has
Right.
to get done before No Name Nationals for me to do that, which it won't take that long to do tires.
No. Well, and the cool thing is you don't have to balance them.
Right. Yeah, I even bought a thing from Harbor Freight to do a TV inside. I'm honestly going probably too far into it, but if I'm gonna keep it, I
Nah.
want to make it mine.
Yep. That's what you're doing. You don't need no okays from nobody to do what you want.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna downsize my camper. I'm gonna sell mine, the one I have now.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen your camper. Is it-
Mm-mm.
okay.
No, it's a 30-foot.
So that's pretty big.
Yeah. It's got a big slide out and all that shit. I just I go out there and it's kind of little vacation,
Sure,
but it's only 30 minutes away.
that matters.
Go out and spend a couple nights, go fishing, all that good shit. But the truck will pull it. It just gets like 7 miles a gallon when I'm pulling it.
It doesn't like to pull it.
Right.
Let's go into No Name the first year. I got 11 miles to the gallon out of
Mhm.
the red truck, hauling all that.
Right.
Which, I mean, you can ask her on some of the hills. It was lean popping back through the carburetor. It was just running that lean to try and save so much fuel.
Right. Yeah, and that's if I get a smaller camper, I can it'll probably be a little bit better on gas, one, but two, I go out there by myself more than the girls go with me, so it wouldn't be worth keeping that gigantic ass thing.
The people always like, yeah, there's no way you got 11 hauling all that weight. And it's like, no, I can tell you, I did. Did the math. Which,
Might come with a truck and trailer by then. Oh dang. I think we're pushing Dakota's buttons with old Don. He might have to get that moving so he can beat him.
I hope so. I like seeing it. His car there. I want to see more GM. Like, I don't have anything against Mopars or Fords, but like, there's a lot of Mopars.
I can dig it. I understand. 11 mile a gallon with just your dad in it. Was
Man,
that your Firebird?
it's a 400 though, ain't it, Dakota? Not that that makes much of a difference, but depends on what carbs on it and how good your cam. I mean, there's so many variables in that.
Dang, 11 mile a gallon. That's pretty. Oh, 455. Okay.
Hmm. That's a pretty big motor.
Yeah, depending on how fast he was going.
Right.
If he's keeping up with traffic doing 75 and 80, yeah, that's going to go pretty fast.
373 gears.
My 283 was getting almost 17 mile a gallon in my Camaro years ago with my 256 gears.
Ooh. Golly.
Love you, Dad. Good night.
Thank you. Love you too. But now, with my 410 and the fuel injection, with a little bit of driving I've done, it's getting around 13.
That's pretty good.
So, dude, that fuel injection is just wicked. I love it.
I mean, has it been tuned any or no?
Just me.
Like, okay. I say because I mean I've seen some people with pretty good numbers on those. Not that that's not, but I mean
my
I
tip
think you got
in,
more room.
I've got a little bit lean, just because I don't think my converter is loose enough for this camshaft. It's a 3600, but the power doesn't come in to around 42. So I leaned it out a little bit at tip in, and wide open throttle is at 12.9.
And at 410 gears, that ought to be a little, hot machine, really.
I think it does pretty good.
I mean, mine's got 411s in it.
Same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I had a 250 gear in my car originally and went straight to a 410. So it was a kick in the fucking pants.
Yeah. I'm sure it went from like grandma status to, hey, this is actually fun.
Yeah. So it was fun.
So where's it at? Like, what step are you in now as far as?
I'm just finishing my interior. I went way back a month or so ago when I hurt my back, or not my back, but my shoulder blade. I just totally quit working on everything, trying to get that to feel better. So I went to work, but I didn't do a whole lot.
Right.
So I'm still working on putting my door panels together, but that's all I'm doing is my interior. The car's done.
Well, that's good.
Oh, but Dale, no, me and Dad did paint the window moldings. So the window moldings are going on. So
my buddy talked me into putting window trim on mine, and
yeah,
it looks so much better, but I've had a couple pieces fly off.
Well, I bought new clips for mine so that wouldn't happen. And Dad, being the body man, he went through and bent the trim back around to where it'll grab the clip real good.
So I bought new ones, but they're too short. They work good on some of the pieces, but not all the pieces. So luckily, I had enough mixed of good.
You didn't get plastic, did you?
No, they're the steel.
Okay. They shouldn't be too short.
They compared to the factory ones or whatever's on the car, they're different.
Huh.
Not by much, but by enough, apparently.
That's weird.
I mean, they
should be identical to mine.
They should be, I would think. I don't know.
Well, with the experience I've had with the Impalas, the Lagunas, the Camaros, I mean, they're all the same.
Yeah, GM's oh, that parts bucket looks nice. You've been using that parts bucket for 30 years. Doesn't matter. It's usually.
My kid is freaking crazy.
I came from you, so what does that make you?
Ooh. The slap back.
I can't be mad. I think the only race I lost, the Mongrel's Garage.
Well, .03 is nothing. That's like
No,
that's like
that's a hell of a finish.
yeah, that's really close.
That just means you need a little more fuel on the big end.
Or less tacos.
Let's tacos. Dang it, man. Bang my damn foot
What'd you do that for?
just for the fun of it.
I can tell.
Get out of here.
You love me.
So I'm thinking, I'm not Jesus. A light wind might blow you away, Dakota.
145.
So I'm hoping. I know as soon as the track opens this year, I'm going to have everything ready. I've got my drag radials and slicks and everything already ready to go. I had everything ready for no names, but couldn't go. So
Right.
as soon as the track reopens out here, which will be in, I think, March.
Were you going to
third, fourth
okay.
week of March? Yeah. If I can play it right, I'm going to go down to Edgewater with one of our buddies that we grew up with.
Bye, love you.
I'll be there a
Love
lot.
you too. Have fun.
Yeah, tell us what day. We'll probably be there.
Okay.
Usually, Dad likes to go on muscle car Sundays with his car, so I'll usually go
Mhm.
with him. And then I'm gonna do points again this year. So that's
I never ran points.
it's not a
And
good idea if you're not a good racer, and I'm not a good racer, so
I'm not worried about being consistent. I just want to be able to have fun. And
yeah, sure.
to get the car consistent, I probably could, but I'm not concerned about it. Not
some of the-
deterring you from doing that. I'm totally for what you're wanting to do, but I'm just not.
I just want to race. I don't care
Right,
what it is.
exactly. Right.
I just
The thing
it's-
was, with me, I go to the track and I'm guaranteed 3 runs
right.
on a race day rather than a test and tune.
Mm-hmm.
Test and tune, I go out and pay $80 with gas and I get 3 runs because there's so many cars there.
Right. Well,
On a race
Edgewater-
day,
They suck at it because usually there's always one person, and I understand that stuff happens. There's always like 4 oil downs on a test and tune night, and then it like
Yes.
ruins your whole night, and you're like, man, I just paid money for this. So
my rear shocks were. Well, Dakota, put some 50/50s on it. You won't be sorry.
But-
And you could always put a set of adjustables on it too, and just adjust the right rear a little bit tighter when you go race it.
I mean, in your platform, probably single adjustables would probably be okay.
With that 455, it torques up pretty good.
You think?
Well, it's like your car. When you leave,
Yeah.
that left side picks up a little bit more.
Right.
455 is way worse.
It yeah, last time okay. Air shocks. God, that's a blast from the past.
No, God, no. No. Get rid of the air shocks.
I remember because my uncle's car's got that on it. Granted, it's a stick shift car and it's all factory independent suspension
Right.
weird stuff. But those work okay for what he's doing, but he's now going to something different because it's not working. Even with a good set of radials, it's still too much. And he's only running like 11s, ain't it? Nick. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fast, but not like
Dakota, you need to drop those air shocks.
Mohawk
And to
or
be
right.
honest, you want that car barely raked. You want barely raked on that car, and with an adjustable air, shock on it, you put 2 clicks more on the right-hand side on one of the 9-way adjustables, that car's going to hook. Those Leaf Springs cars, they're just always hooked.
But yeah, with going to points, it forces you to go racing more.
1283 was his last race thing.
That was on the smaller motor though.
That was an LS this year.
Yeah, he's been in 11s, 90s, or something like that.
Yes, a 50-50 is just a bolt on. That way you don't have to screw around with adjusting it, but it'll transfer the weight to the back tire a whole lot easier.
And I suggest 90-10s in the front.
And not his yet.
You don't think so?
Fuck no, it's a 455, dude. He's not going to have to lift that rear end or that front end up much. No, it's a 455. He's with those 50-50s, that thing's going to hook pretty good.
Well, I put 90-10s on the front of mine. Granted, I was budget restricted.
But
I
you're
didn't have
also
any
small.
money.
You're
Huh?
a small block LS, so you're a couple pounds, 100 pounds lighter than his 455.
That's true. But my God,
So-
I mean, it didn't take 400 horse, and we were already like, boop boop. It was
Uh-huh.
like instant.
Well, the 90-10s, it lets the front end go just so it can weight transfer. But, when you're pushing a bunch of horsepower like you're doing, you need that. Dakota's not pushing all that.
So, and we got double adjustables in the front now and in the rear, and there's something else there. Like we got to do the 4-link change
Mm-hmm.
to get it the instant center, basically.
Right. Yeah, I think we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about that when Tony was on the first time. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try that, doing just the stock stuff and bolting it because I really want. Because I mean, I don't know if there's any record for these cars, but I've set the quickest Laguna in the world. I know that,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to have the quickest 73 to 77 stock suspension.
Oh, it'll happen.
Right. There's a couple guys going 890s, and they're a lot lighter than me. I mean, they've got gutted race cars, basically.
Right. Here you go, Dakota. Get you a stickier rear tire. Get some drag radials on it. That'll make you pucker.
Dude, some of the radial racing is crazy.
I don't know. I mean, those guys got a lot of chassis tuning they do, but
Sure.
they have tunable chassis. So mine, I'm just not in. I would love to put a ladder bar under my car. It'd be cool as shit. But
You think you would go ladder bars?
yeah, and with that short a distance I have under my car, I would go with the ladder bar. With the 4-link under mine, I'd have to tear out the whole damn floor.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. I've never even messed with a I hate when my mind goes blank. I've never messed with a
Ladder bar.
yeah. I don't know why I
They're
can't think of
fun.
it.
They're adjustable just like 4-link is. It's just not as adjustable.
Right.
Yeah, Damien says ladder all the way. That's what he's got. We got Dad's car hooking on ladder bar like crazy. But again, he didn't want to have to cut out the whole floor to be able to put a 4-link in. So
The other thing is
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of good results out of the they're like a slapper bar, but they call them something else.
Caltrax.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, ever want a leaf spring car or truck to freaking hook?
Dude, I love mine. It tried to
love-
hook on a hard street tire.
Yeah.
I
believe
had a
that.
set of 295 50 15 Cooper Cobras. And I was driving for a few minutes and then just smashed it, and it tried to hook, and it planted me in the seat. So it felt really good.
They're crazy. It blows my mind, to be honest.
Dakota, I had traction bars on the Camaro. When I was running 12 O's, they worked okay. But with this motor, there's no way. I bent the traction bar when I was running 12 O's. I don't know what I would have done with this one. So that's why I dropped those and went to Caltrax.
First responder, there's a car that's running like 3 seconds or like 390s or something like that. I think
Mopar,
it might be low fours, but it's a leaf spring car still.
a super stock spring, most likely.
It's got some type of slider, like the 4-link moves.
Yeah.
It's a weird setup, like very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Why anybody
That is
did
weird.
that, I don't understand.
Later, Mohawk. Thanks for hanging out, man.
See you,
It
Mohawk.
was great seeing you. I've not been on in a couple weeks. I've been feeding for my YouTube buddies.
So I know Jason a couple times is just like something popped up and he doesn't do his lives. I'm like, damn, I wanted to talk to them all. It's like,
Yeah, and I think Jason's live on Thursday was the last one I was able to get into.
and I'm sure I'm not very good at doing consistent lives, but I try to go live when I can. That's for sure.
Well, I tried to stay consistent on Tuesdays. My life is hectic as hell with everything else going on, but I still try to do Tuesdays, but life happens.
Sure. Every day, unfortunately.
Yeah. Rear shackle has a slide. It allows the spring to adapt to the natural movement, and it hooks hard, just very noisy for the street. Yeah.
Look at
Later,
Don.
Don. Have a good one, dude.
See you later, Don.
Jason.
There's always wives for that.
I got rid of mine.
Oh,
Putting sliders on the S10. No, you're not. You got Caltrax. Or are you putting them on with it?
that'll be interesting.
No shit. Dan went on cat and his trash talk. Oh, he's gonna have both. God damn. Well, now they ain't gonna have no problem hugging.
Yeah. You'll need more power.
She goes
Doesn't he plan to
we'll
turbo
get
it?
there. He's gonna. Yeah, I think he's gonna turbo it
deadlocked, and I'm like, I don't know.
eventually.
Sure. You know what? It don't take a lot of. My car wasn't. Right now, it's not over turboed, but when we first put it together, I had way more turbo than what I needed. It don't take much.
Let's see here. No, damn
You'd
it.
make 500 or 600 on like a 78, 75 from China for like $300, $400.
Well, one of my buddies, his friend of his was getting rid of his fuel injection because he didn't like it,
Yeah.
and he was he told me if I come over and put a carburetor on it, that I could have that fuel injection system. So I was like, get me the part number, because
Right.
if it's a power outer system, I want it.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Oh. Well, aren't the stock ones good for like 600? Like the Hollies?
Yeah, that's what mine is. It's like 6 or 650. And I've got a couple of them maxed out in this thing where I'm thinking I'm kind of pushing it, but I still think I'm doing okay because I went wide open throttle with it and never went lean on me. So I think I'm doing okay. Trying to find this picture. Maybe that's it. Yeah, there it is. So this is my ex-brother-in-law.
Ooh.
It's in a 57 Chevy.
Yeah. That looks nice.
Yeah. It's getting ready to go to the body shop so he can finish up the fenders and everything else.
I like it a
But
lot.
that was just That was just a fab fit. So when it comes back from the body shop, everything's going to be ready.
Have you ever thought about doing the Terminator X with like the multi-port fuel injection, but it's like it's got an actual throttle body on it? Like
Yes.
on a 4-barrel.
Happy New Year, Rich. Yeah, I thought about it too.
Because those don't really have a limit on power because you can run.
Well, I know if I'm gonna take the time to change it over to something like that, I want a power adder system.
Okay.
That way, if I spray it, I can adjust it, or if I boost it, I can change everything.
And what I like about that system is that Terminator X ECU and harness
Mhm.
works for LS platforms, or if you just want to put it on a small block Chevy, works for
Right.
that too.
Well, you gonna loan it out? Is that what you're telling me?
What's that?
I said, what? You gonna loan it out? Is that what you're telling me?
No. But I've thought about like for her car, because it's got a 307 or 301 Olds or Pontiac, whatever the heck it is. It's a weird engine.
301.
But I know that a small block Chevy will fit in place of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a small block Chevy will hold enough power to make that car fast for a front wheel drive car. So I thought about doing a Terminator X and doing like a little turbo thing on it.
Yeah. You know, when I was putting my car together and decided to go with Phytech, all the money that I was putting into the car,
Mm-hmm.
the sniper kit was $1,000.
Yeah.
Maybe even 1,100. So when I priced it from our local speed shop that we always buy from out here, he almost gave me cost on this Phytech system that he said that I'll be happy with.
Yeah.
So I went with it because I got it less than half of what that one was.
Ooh. Yeah, I would have I would change my mind too.
Right. And because the only reason he knew that is because he's put so many systems on and he's run them on the dyno.
Hmm.
He actually broke them in, tuned everything on the dyno for the people, and then put the motors in the cars.
Oh, interesting.
So all they had to do is put the motor in and start it. They didn't have to do anything else. And they loved it. This 318 or 360 Mopar he had on the dyno with my kit that I have on my car. It was running 460 horsepower at the crank with the carburetor. Took the carburetor off, put Phytech on it, did everything he needed to do. It made 490 horsepower.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the guy said, leave it on there. Yeah. And he loves it. You know, he can go out 30 degrees outside and never touch the gas and it starts right up.
That's what I like about the EFI stuff.
Yes. What's up, Twisted?
Babe, first responders asked, do you want to get rid of the 307? And I can tell you, I will when it's blown up. Yeah.
Oh, not when it's blown up. He needs one that's good.
Well, if I'm going to swap it, it needs to be broke. So
No, you don't.
my thoughts were.
You know how many good motors I've pulled?
My thoughts were doing like a 200 shot on it or something. Yeah, your car. Yeah. The new motor that goes in it will be a lot more powerful enough to keep.
Full send, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I think a 200 shot should blow up a 307.
Yeah, Twisted had a great Christmas and New Year. I actually had my brats home, not in the hospital, so it was pretty good Christmas.
Dakota, technically you're right, but they won't be as much fun.
Yes.
I would probably get a lot more money out of it if it wasn't blown up, but nah. And it runs okay, so it's one of those like it's got electrical connectors on the carburetor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know anything about this whole car, but all I know is it runs amazing.
That's the EFE grid, the
Good
idle.
night, everybody.
Good night, hon. What is that called? The idle mixture solenoid, and there's a high idle circuit because it being carbureted. There's a bunch of weird shit that they had on those carburetors. It was a pain in the ass.
I don't know, but all I know is it looks too complicated to fix for what I want to do with the car. So I'm
Mhm.
like, if I blow it up or it breaks, get rid of it. Give it to somebody that needs it. Or blow it up and have fun doing it. Because I think if we can get enough time in between No Name Nationals and the ramp truck being drivable
Mhm.
and like the turbo or the Laguna being done, I want to get that car ready for No Name.
Yeah.
And I'll have to buy her participation thing, but
Right.
it may get
Damien,
a lot sooner than you think.
a friend of ours has a 301 Pontiac Turbo that we stuck it on, and it runs absolutely perfect.
Hey, Twisted, how are you, buddy?
And he's got a 71 Challenger, I think. 71, 72 Challenger 383, I think. That we put the Phytech on it. Fires up every time. Got to charge the battery most times. How long ago? What do you mean? Like last year or this past summer? Is that what you're asking?
How long, I think, since you built it, I think is what he's saying, or put that motor in. I think.
Oh, I mean, he drove over here this past fall with his 301 turbo. This car is a Raggedy Ann looking POS, but it's got a hell of turbo on it. This sucker runs good. I was watching the how long has the Phytech been on there? Okay, so my car, it's been on for 3 years, and probably the first 6 months of those 3 years, I was going to throw it in the trash, but I got it figured out. But on his car and Dad's car and the Challenger, I knew what to do. I went over and settled the same settings I did on my car, and it starts and runs. Yeah, Dean, football inside the rear coil spring. Jason did that. It was funny as hell because Jason pulled the left front wheel for like 100 feet in his Mustang. I think he ended up going ladder bars or 4-link on his, changed it, and it started pulling the front end straight. Hey, Wendy. '94 F-150 to 355. God, I've got an S10 at the shop. It's one of those IROC S10s. You ever seen one of those?
Yeah.
Its rear end's blowed out of it.
Ooh.
I was going to do a short on it. Ladder bars and coilovers. Okay. It's been a while. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But, dude, this thing, it spit the freaking front yoke right off the diff.
Damn, that's
It locked the
impressive.
rear end up. Yeah.
What's he trying to do? What did he go from wet grass to dry asphalt?
She said they were driving down the highway.
Maybe.
So
but
the only way it would have happened is they run it out of gear oil. But
Yeah.
I can't tell which happened first by the way it looks.
keep an eye out for the mail. Aye, aye, Captain. I will. You'll have one coming your way too. At some point.
The mail lady just went to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. They work on government hours, so I don't know if we'll ever. Sometimes there's been packages I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get that, but we'll see. Like I don't like using USPS unless I absolutely have to.
Man, Damien, I did not pull that diff apart to check it. I just got underneath and saw it, and it won't move. So
First
They're
responder,
getting a
I have
differential.
firsthand experience with that. So that's the only reason I said that.
yeah, I know we're gonna have to use the Gojacks to get it inside the shop.
Ah,
It's that bad.
shoo. We.
Yeah, the
I'm
right
surprised it didn't
rear.
tear off any axles or anything with that much
No,
carnage.
it didn't. I know it didn't, but the right rear is locked up solid. But the left rear tries to spin.
Gets caught.
It jerks as we tried to push it. So that's when we put it on Gojacks and pushed it inside. Looked at it, and we pushed it right back outside.
Twisted, you trying to get some more compression or what? Your car
Dude, I
already
got so
sounded,
much room on mine.
his car sounded like a monster.
It did.
I don't know what else you want. It's going to sound like a mountain motor next. Which isn't a bad thing, but
What's happening, man?
hey, Professor P's here.
Yeah.
He said big motor. I got a little
See,
itty
I'm
motor.
still running a flat top piston in my car because I still want to run pump gas.
Yeah. Well, that's what when I was at PRI, I was talking with some piston manufacturers, and they're like, "Yeah, we show you this piston and this," and I'm like, "No, I want factory replacement." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm putting compression into the engine. If I start with 13-1, it's going to be like 18-1 or 20-1, and I'm going to have to run some crazy fuel, and that's expensive." And I'm like, and
Yeah.
stock replacement pistons are cheap. So
With the way I had the heads milled and shit like that, I'm probably close to 11-1.
it's
So
not bad then. That's probably a nice
I'm
little
good.
street motor then.
Oh, yeah, it's not
Because
bad.
I mean, I think 13-1 when VP recommends like at least 10
Holy shit! Is that a diesel?
15 on compression. Yeah.
Good Lord!
Well, dude, the one who is it? What's his name? Redbeard or whatever. I remember him saying his was like 20 something to 1. I'm like, oh my God.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I think my Laguna with the turbo, balls to the wall, every PSI that turbo will make probably isn't even close to that.
Well, when you're boosting, you don't want a whole lot.
Right.
You can still run boost with my almost 11-1, 10.5, 11. You just can't run a whole lot without studding it and shimming it and all that bullshit.
So what I've gathered
Aluminum
is,
head 455 is going to be about 11.5. That's gonna sound good.
yeah. That's compression motors. It's a big compression just sounds good.
Oh yeah, you can tell when it's got compression.
Right.
More than 8-1 anyway.
Well, that's what my car's 9-1 compression. People are like, why'd you get that up? I'm like, because it's expensive. Oh my God, that is a big motor. That's a big motor.
Yikes.
No,
I can, if I decided to run boost on mine, I could probably only run like 10 pounds, maybe 12 without hurting it.
my plan was to run 30,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's looking like maybe 40. If the
Run it.
studs, I'm buying better studs this year, and I'm also running a better gasket.
Yeah.
So I'll have a little bit more playroom, but I don't know about 40.
Dude, they're running 110 and 120 on those entry level multi-layer steel gaskets with studs. I
Oh, no,
know.
that's-
Yes, they're O-ringing them and shit, but if you run the really good head gaskets with a good seal on them, what was it? What the hell's it? Murder Nova Do you know
Yeah,
how many pounds, how much PSI he runs on his on boost?
it's not an LS though. It's a pro line Hemi.
Um, no, the one he had that looked like the small block with the big block heads.
Oh, well, I don't know then. I thought he had a pro
Yeah,
line
and
Hemi in the one car.
think the Pro line is the new car.
Oh, okay.
No, the old car, the OG, um, he was running like 140 psi with those two gigantic turbos,
Oof.
3,600 horsepower at the axle.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah,
Not too much power, too much money. 481X, yeah, that's the block basically, the setup.
right.
Which I would love to have one. Don't get me wrong, it would be a lot of fun. And don't ever
0 or
think that
plus
there won't.
6 thou deck. Yeah, LS secrets.
Don't ever worry about this one not ever getting one. It may get a Hemi eventually.
Right.
If I ever
Well, you
hit the
know-
lottery or get rich.
3,600. That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no, it's not a freaking rail dragster. You know, those are running 11,000 plus horsepower. So I don't think that car could handle that much.
No, there's no way. Well, that's what I'm laughing at this because so a few years ago there weren't dynos that went up to 2,000 or 3,000 horsepower. And like it's crazy to think that power's become that available that we're having to figure that out.
Damien. Well, you know the dynos they have now, the ones can only read up to 11,000 horsepower. And who in the hell was it? Pedregon or something like that. One of his cars they put on that dyno just for the fun of it.
Right. Yeah, they weren't
And it
worried
made-
about numbers.
11,000 horsepower, but it maxed out.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah. So it's 11,000 plus because they have no idea.
Dean, I don't want those heads. Them things are huge. I wouldn't have any room in my engine bay.
Man, did you see the hybrid small block with LS?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I heard about it, but I never got to see anything, and I finally got to see it. That is insane.
It's interesting.
Yes. The what they're saying, the way it's holding together and building horsepower, having the best of both worlds in one.
Right. Well, I was thinking in my head, the LS heads flow good. Some of these circle track guys, there's a thing called iron heads, right? They're I think they're restricted to iron heads.
Mm-hmm.
They flow just as good as the aluminum versions of those heads. If I was a smart dirt track guy, I would buy that small block and put the iron head on it and run that. There's
Right.
no way they can say, hey, it's not right, you know? There's no rule against it.
Well, everybody's trying to push me to put an LS in my car, and I don't want to yet.
They're
If
okay.
that small block stays together, it's going to stay in the car.
Yeah.
But if it lets go, yes, I will.
I'll tell everybody what I told myself in the beginning. Only reason I didn't do a small block Chevy was my power goals were over what a small block Chevy could handle for the same amount of money.
Why?
So I wanted to make 1,000, which we're close. But for that same amount of money, I could have a platform that will allow me to grow further.
Yeah.
I mean, to make a small block Chevy make 1,500, that's a lot of money. In a small block Chevy.
I don't think it would cost that much. It all depends on where and what you did.
So I'll be under $3,000 for this new engine. That's including the block, the forged rods, forged pistons,
Mm-hmm.
all the bearings, and I mean literally everything.
Right.
Possibly even a cam, depending on if mine's chewed up or not.
See, that's what I thought about doing in my truck instead of sticking with that stock was it 5-10 left.
It's small.
I thought about going with the what is the LS2 or LS3 with the 560 lift.
Do you haul anything with that truck?
Yeah.
There's a couple companies that make a truck cam specifically that like it sounds good and then it also performs well. Tick Performance was one of them. It's like a tow package basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think BTR has one. Trying to think of the other name. There's probably I don't know what it is, but they make cams that like pretty much improve the whole towing capacity of the LS motor in a truck.
So that's what I thought about doing. And if I'm doing lifters, I might as well go ahead and throw a big bump stick in it. And I've got a tuner I can do it with.
I always say, I tell everybody, especially when you're doing it for something like that where it's stock, you're not planning to go fast or nothing. Try to do something that doesn't require you to put like really aftermarket springs where you couldn't throw one in to get you home somewhere.
Oh, no. That was the whole reason with the LS2 cam was because I could run stock springs on it.
Like, I do recommend the Trunnion kit.
Yes.
Where it replaces the bushings and the rocker
the
arm.
update, yep.
I literally I want to make a video on it. There's people I watch. They literally just had a breakdown in another state with their Suburban.
Yeah.
That was caused by a stock rocker arm. So, it's good proof to show that like when I say spend that money on that, it's not because it's I want to sell parts or people need it or don't need it. They need it because of that. It's going to happen eventually. It's when and how.
Exactly. Yep.
I've seen there's a guy on YouTube. I won't say his name, but he's literally the master at destroying LS engines, and I don't know why he's never learned his lesson. But
Richard Holdner?
No.
He maxes out every damn one, and he talks about the same shit every single time. But he's got 12,000 people on there talking about the same thing every single time.
I don't get it. I think Ken doesn't like him for some reason. I remember him saying something about like
Tall Garage
parts. Yeah, Tall Garage.
Yeah, yep. You're right. He doesn't. He hates him.
His videos just weird me out. I don't know.
Well, what I miss is him actually doing dyno pulls. He doesn't do it anymore. He just sits there and talks the whole time.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, Dakota, he'll make 29 videos from one dyno pull. If not more.
There's speaking of 29 videos on a pull.
Hang on 1 second. I got to run over here. I'll be right back.
Sure. First front, I don't watch Holdner. I mean, it's technically good content. Like, I'm not hating the guy. It's just like Rob was right. It's literally same video every time. The same I don't know. Maybe that's the draw. I'm not sure. Oh, he just went live right now. Well, all I can say is good luck. The Geo Metro XFI. Oh, excuse me. I hate that guy. He's a schmuck. I mean, they're good if you skip through them and get the info you want and go back to your life. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad person. I think he's understandably, he's probably not stupid. But his videos just weird me out. He's a schmuck. That's funny. I love his work. He's a human AI. Right. But he's got like 20 videos from changing heads in a cam on a small block Chevy. Hey, if you watched all 20 videos, you can't hate on it. If you watched all 20, you're a part of the problem. But then again,
I heard what you said, and yes, you are correct.
Mm.
Don't have to hate him, but
Right.
I rarely ever watch his stuff anymore because he talks about the same shit every single time.
Well, Dakota put, but he's got like 20 videos from changing heads in a cam on a small block Chevy. And I'm like, well, if you watched all 20 videos, you're part of the problem.
You know what? If it was someone that needs the information,
right.
he's got really good, strong information. He really does. But that's not me.
Right.
I need some
Dakota,
new.
I like he's got to be making good money. If I was him, I would be doing the same thing too. Yeah. I guess
Absolutely.
if I was making.
Damien, I watched 2 minutes and I was done. But again, we already know most of what he's talking about. And again, you get someone on there that's never seen him. He's got good, strong information. He really does. He's got really good, easy ways of making power and on a budget. But I kind of already knew all that, but I'm not. He talks about bolt-on parts.
Right.
I hogged out my cylinder heads, my cast iron heads.
Mm-hmm.
It does great.
Yeah, he's not into that kind of that. Because see, I think he would lose his audience then because that's too specific.
And that could be
Most
reverse engineering Richard Holdner.
Because like that's, and I hate judging people for this, but that's what I've gathered largely from the community. They don't want to do that work. Like it's hard for people to do that work.
It's hard for me too, and it was really difficult for me to just jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a few videos. I watched one of his. I watched a couple of these old guys. Their fingers looked like they were just full of freaking arthritis from working on cars their whole life. But he's holding this carbide burr and just hogging these cylinder heads out with his fingers just curled up, and it looked so painful. And I'm thinking, this dude's got to know what he's fucking talking about. He's got the old truth. So I've done a lot of reading videos, watching, boarding cylinder heads. Yeah, dude, it makes a humongous freaking difference. But where I open my cylinder heads up, it's kind of like Andy. Damn it, what's his channel?
Unity Motorsports Garage?
Yes, thank you. Yes. So he was doing that flow bench test on a bunch of cylinder heads, and he takes that little ball and runs it through the runner as they're doing all that.
Yeah.
And on a ported cylinder head, it made no difference where he put the ball at one point. It only made it at a certain point on the top or the bottom or the side, but not the other one. And that's the same thing this old man was telling me. So when I hogged my cylinder heads out, I did exactly what he said, and I ramped it one way and then ramped it the other for the intake and then one way for the exhaust. It is a different car.
Well, it doesn't work like that.
Oh, I don't like him because he is random when it doesn't. Wow. Max Wedge, what's up?
I didn't do any porting to my heads. They're literally stock casting straight from the factory.
Seriously?
Yes.
We need to have a talk.
Like, that's what I'm like, dude, there's so much more left in the engine. And then I'm like,
so much more.
And then I'm not out my turbo that I have now, which it needs rebuilt, but there's still room on that before it gets inefficient. And I'm like, dude, there's 1,200 horsepower there. I didn't find it. I'm already past that goal. I want to go more.
Yeah, you could pull those. Well, you said you got to change motors, right?
Yes.
So you pulling cylinder heads because you got to do studs and all that good shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know what's a good timing for?
Porting them. So I've really thought, okay, so, and I'm not an expert, and I'm not even smart in this, to be honest with you. You want a triangular Dorito shaped port.
LS.
Well, to create velocity into the valve so that it the air pushes off the valve stem, I guess, spreads
Mhm.
out under it. My thoughts were whatever. Buying a square port head and porting it out for a cathedral port, or sorry, opposite. No, yeah, square port head to a cathedral port. No, I'm still wrong on that. Opposite.
Yeah, I don't think that would work, but you're still running a stock cylinder head, right?
Yeah,
You running the 699s or what?
706.
706. That's still the same as 699 head.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
what came with it.
Yeah. The 699, the 706s, and the 488, I think it was, were all really good cylinder head. But
That's what there's a lot of people that say this is like the best boost head. But I'm gonna correct myself. It was square port intake, and then port the outside of your port, like where it connects to the head, right?
yeah,
Your intake head to where it flares out to meet that
yes,
square port.
yes.
And that would create velocity, extra velocity, I should say. But I'm not like I don't want to put the time into that. It even if it gave me 25 horsepower on the track's like a half a tenth.
You'd feel it though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I like big gains. I like seconds.
Well,
10
but
seconds.
you got to make all those little improvements to make those big gains, though.
Right.
So, if you're gonna, even if you run your stock cylinder head, the hot rod LS gasket, you don't run a stock intake gasket, right?
No, they're O-ringed.
Right. So when you set the intake down on it, put a light down inside there or borescope or whatever, and see where it's not matching up.
Yeah.
Mark it all, polish everything out, make sure it all flows through. And on your intake side, because it doesn't hit, the roof, it doesn't hit. It hits down here as it goes into the cylinder head.
Mm-hmm.
You want all that smooth down into the valve.
Right.
Well, you can make the mouth as big as you want. It's not going to make a difference because, the beginning of the intake is not matched.
But that's where I was saying you would take the square port intake where it's a big old port and then match the little side of the
Yes. Right.
intake.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't know that's where you were going.
And that would basically be like a little funnel.
Exactly.
I don't know
And
if it
same
would
thing
actually-
with exhaust. Same thing with exhaust. When I put my headers up on mine,
Yeah.
I put grease on it and then smacked the cylinder head, pulled it back off there, and it was just like, oh my God.
I'm sure there's probably tons of gain.
So I spent more time on the exhaust side than I did the intake.
Yeah, like Damien says there, kind of.
Yep, the Venturi effect.
I don't have any proof that it will, but I've not seen anybody do it.
So you don't want to, do all this work and then take everything back apart, report it, and see how much difference it makes.
Right.
Just do it the first time and then tune it from there.
And I also
Now-
I want to build a mule car that I can do
Mhm.
that kind of fun stuff on. That's not so expensive.
Well, I know when I originally put my first motor together, I cleaned up the inside of the combustion chamber. I didn't port match everything or do anything like that. But the second time, same cylinder heads, better valve springs, severe duty swirl polish valves. And then I went in, well, the cylinder head guy at Cameras, he took this big ass, I don't know, end mill of some kind, and it surrounded the valve boss. And he told me, we're going to run it down this far, but don't go past this point. So he let me loose on my cylinder heads in the machine shop.
No, that's terrifying.
Fuck no, I loved it. I loved every second of it. So I hogged out every bit of the cylinder head that I could get so that it would flow past that valve boss. So once I was done doing all that on both cylinder heads, then I took them home, and then I took those 2 carbide burrs I had, and I cleaned all of that stuff around the valve boss, port matched everything in and out, and then polished it with a cone. I probably spent 8 hours on both cylinder heads,
Right.
but it made a humongous difference. But they're cast iron too, they're not aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a lot of time.
That's what I'm afraid of. Taking too much.
Well, I mean, that was the reason I was watching those older guys make those videos. You know, he said you only got to do this much to do this and this much to do this. And, you know, you can only go so big on a cast iron because, like where the bolt hole is,
Mm-hmm.
it's got that little bit of a boss inside the passage where
Right.
the bolt threads are. So obviously you can't go that far with it. And then if you
Or
go too far on the Siamese cylinders, on the 2 inner cylinders on small block Chevy,
Yeah.
you hit water jacket.
Nice.
So I stopped at one point thinking, oh God, I'm going to hit water jacket if I go any further.
That's what scares me.
That's exactly what Damien said. That's the reason you don't have to hog out the whole thing. What's up, Brian? But only certain parts, and then you do the ramp in. The most important part where all that velocity is,
Yeah.
just like on the exhaust side, it's coming out this way. It's up and then down because of the pressure. So I cleaned it up on the top side coming out, but polished the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hog everything out on the bottom, just the top.
Just where it hits first before it bounces into the header.
Yeah. Another way to look at it, but yeah, I think that's probably right too. That's accurate. So I think doing all that made a gigantic difference in the power that my car makes too. Not saying I'm out there to, kill nobody, but it makes a lot of power for what it is.
Right. You're seeing significant gains. I hate when people compare like apples to oranges. Like, I'm making, let's say it's a small block Chevy and it's like a 500 horse small block Chevy, but you're running on the street in a street car, something that's like, and then they go, oh yeah, well, it's not 1,000 horsepower. It's like, well, no shit. It's not meant to be.
Well, I ran a Fox body Mustang he ran 11 O's on the track.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled me out of the gate because he's a chassis car. He had 4-link and everything else. I still had my Coopers. By the time I hit high gear, I started pulling on him. So I do believe I've got a strong car. I've just not hit the track yet with it.
Right.
One day it will.
Right. Man, I've said that a lot.
Well, I mean, Sykeston was going to be the first track, first time it's hit the track since, 2004, 5. Yeah. The car sat for that long while I was raising my kids.
Sure. Well, that's more important.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I know, Dakota. I was supposed to be there. I was ready to go. I had to work.
I had a good car. I mean, it hooked. Right? It hooked. But man,
I'm pretty sure I'm going to go real close to a low 11, but I can't say 100% yet.
Quarter mile.
Well, quarter mile anyway.
Yeah. I was saying, like,
so it'd be a high 6, low 7.
So your car should be faster than
Well,
that.
we still run quarter mile. We still run quarter mile out here.
Is Killcare quarter?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Why?
Don't they have really short shutdown?
No.
I thought it was short.
No. I
I've
mean,
never
even when I was
been.
running 12, you hit the first turnoff.
Okay.
Now, Jason, when he was running 11s, he jammed on the brakes really hard and hit the first turnoff, and his rotors were glowing.
That's rough. Well, I've seen a couple pro mods and stuff right there, and I'm like, dude, that's takes some guts because I mean I'm going, only 9s, and I'm like, I wouldn't stop.
Now, there's other cars out there. There's a street 57 Chevy, 55 Chevy, runs 850s
Whew.
all the time.
Fast.
Oh, yeah. He drives it there, too.
I'm with Danny Boyd. I'd rather run the whole quarter.
And that's me because that's all I've always done. But
It's way like I hate bracket racing in 8th mile. Everything is so quick. Like literally, okay, this is the way I tell everybody. I'm hitting high gear, passing the finish line. Literally.
right, yeah, boom,
So
boom.
like I'm trying to shift and not blow the engine up and look over, trying to judge the line and stripe or whatever, and like it's a nightmare. With the new setup, it shouldn't be that way. But I'll shift before then, probably. Still.
Dakota, you put those other cylinder heads on, you're going to be in the 12s.
Honestly, what's it at now? Because I'm telling you, you take a seat out, a back seat,
Those back seats and those F bodies don't weigh shit.
No? Okay. I know the
5
front ones
pounds.
have to weigh something.
The front seats are heavy. Back seats don't weigh shit. You can
But
twirl
you
them
could
around
not-
your freaking pinky finger.
You could buy a lightweight front.
Mm-hmm. He ran 9.2 in the 8th, so yeah, those cylinder heads will get him in the 12 O's. That's no problem because a 9.2 is a basically 12-second car.
Yeah, no, I hate saying that. Like, because there we ran 6:30, I think was our almost, or 6:20 or 6:30 was our fastest pass, and like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to compute that to quarter mile because technically that doesn't mean quarter mile times.
That's a 9, low 10.
Well, it should be 960 or 970.
Yeah.
We went 980 at 640 or 645. So that was at LS Fest, which was
Right.
quarter mile, and you got 8th mile on the time slip too.
Yeah. So you went 980?
I think we ended up going 970 there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
But
that's what I figured.
we went faster at No Name. Honestly, if I would have got a good pass to where I had traction off the hit and was able to put power in it way before the 60 foot,
Mm-hmm.
the car would have ran 599 for sure.
Mm.
And obviously, if it didn't blow up,
Right.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling that my oil was too thinned out. I hadn't done an oil change in a while, which was bad on my part. So it's kind of full of fuel.
Is that what took out your bearing?
I think so.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I mean, it wasn't out of the normal. Like after that race, I would have probably have changed it for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there was a lot of
Do you
glitter.
run
in this one.
synthetic?
Just it's 1540 from Schaefer's. I don't know. It's their Molly Lube or
You ought to
something
try
like
some
that.
synthetic.
Well, we're going up, so since our bearing sizes will be getting bigger and everything,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be going to was it 2050 or something like that? Real thick stuff.
And it's still going to be a standard oil.
I don't know what theirs is. It might be synthetic, but I'm not 100% sure.
I hope it is. The cool thing is about synthetic, it doesn't squeeze out as easy. So it gives that cushion a little bit longer.
Damien, I want to find out. That's why I've been trying to press the Duramax so much, is trying to get it out so that the Laguna can go in, so I can take the motor out, put the Laguna back in the trailer, and then pull a ramp truck in, and then I can do multiple projects at a time. When I run out of something on one, I can go to the other.
Well, when you get a second, put those line locks on those brake hoses
Yeah.
and see if you got a hard pedal. If you got a hard pedal, then take one off at a time and see which one drops more. That'll tell you where your problem is. The molecular structure is more uniform. Conventional is not uniform at all. Yeah.
Now, I was
It
going to do
doesn't-
some testing tonight on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I sold my van, so that took up a lot of my time.
400 stroked are faster than 440 and 426. Yeah. My buddy, old Wedgehead, he built a nasty 400 in his satellite, but it didn't get him. My car was still a little bit quicker. But my car doesn't weigh as much as a fucking satellite does, though.
Probably. I don't know what them cars were for factory, but they're big, aren't they?
As much as yours.
Yeah. I know that. I mean, satellite's like a luxury,
Mm-hmm. But I was running 12 O's and he only run like a 1290. And to get that car naturally aspirated down the track at 1290 is damn impressive.
Yeah.
And that's with exhaust and everything on it too.
Well, the whole street car thing has been blended too much with the drag and drive stuff. People with pro mods calling their cars street cars. So
It was a 72 satellite, Brian.
anything, in my opinion, that gets into the 12s or 11s, even low 13s, is fast for something you can street drive anywhere in the country.
71's only 3,600 pounds. Really? I thought it was heavier than that. My car is only like 3,000, 3,100 maybe.
I would love for my car to be that light.
Well, unibody. It's not
Yeah.
full frame. Back when I weighed it, it weighed 3110, I think, and I had rally wheels, steel hood, factory seats, all that shit. And now it's my Convo Pros, glass hood, lightweight seats.
Oh, well, that's
So I figured it's probably 33,000 to 31 ish.
That's like that roadkill, or not roadkill, the motor trim video that I want to do, or that I did and I've not posted yet.
Yeah.
They built the bone marrow. I don't know if you know what that car is.
Yes.
It's got like a full fiberglass front end, and it's like gutted.
Mhm.
They only got it to run 970. Yeah,
What'd it weigh?
I don't know. It has to be lighter than a normal Camaro.
Wow.
mean, Gutted. No, it didn't even have a cage or a like full cage in it. So like, I'm disappointed in them. I know it's just for entertainment purposes, and they built this really bad to the bone LS. And they built an engine for like an LS engine that should be 1,500 horsepower roughly.
Right.
In reality, they needed something that was 800 horsepower with stock parts.
Dean.
Different F car.
That's why they call it the F bomb, baby.
They know more about naming a car than making it fast. I guess. I don't know.
No, my car is not a small car. It's fucking long. The
Oh
front
yeah,
end's a
Camaros are
mile and
not.
a half long.
My buddy's got a 79, and I remember when he first got it, and I brought the Laguna home. We measured them, and it's not much different, really.
Right.
I don't know if that was just everything that they made back then was long or what.
Saddle has a bit bigger trunk, actually, where the weight may be. Yeah, that's a good chance.
It's the iron oxide, Dean. I agree.
I just know we hit it from a traffic light where I used to live, and we both hit the gas same time. We both came up, took off side by side. Before I even grabbed second gear, I started pulling on him, and I had him by about a whole car before we hit the spot. And which, I mean, it was about right because I ran 1210 to his 1290. The day we went, anyway. If we'd have hit on a hotter day, it probably would have been a 1220.
It's what I'm trying to. I don't want to lighten it up too much, but I also, because I'm going to be adding a dash, a passenger seat. I'm adding weight to a car that already weighs a lot, but I'm going to cut the front end up a little bit. Well, I say the front end, the front nose, because I mean it takes me and my dad every ounce of muscle that we both have to get it up in the air and at least even touch the front of the car. It's got to be 350 pounds alone.
Yeah. What was it?
The front nose.
Yeah. Yeah, it weighs
It's got
a
this
lot.
big bar in the center, down on the bottom, that's like, I want to call it 3/8 plate because that's how thick it is.
Well,
And
a
it's
lot of those Camaro guys, they take that big door support out for a
Yeah.
side impact because that thing weighs probably 15, 20 pounds. It's heavy steel to, take the impact from a side impact.
Right.
I left mine in it.
Oh, mine's still there. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
structure. I don't know. That doesn't matter to me.
No, me either. Well, I mean, I almost went to the aluminum dash and all that shit just to be, to look cool.
Yeah.
But the further along I saw all these cars go, and like I said, the time I went out there and I raced that dude in that 75 Monte Carlo that had it completely gutted. No interior, no dash, no nothing. He just had a fucking steering column and a shifter and a seat.
Nothing.
Yeah, and he run 1260s to my 1220, and
Right.
he's telling him I was spraying the damn car.
Nope.
I'm not sure if Jason's still on here or not, but dude come over to our pits, and Jason and James had to stop me from pounding a hole in his freaking head. And he was just like, he's got nitrous on that car and blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't show him, but then the other guys come over and I popped the hood for them, and they walked away. It's just a good old small block Chevy.
Built correctly.
Dude, it was a 470 hydraulic running 12 O's. But I just had a good combination. I love B bodies, but still think Mopar A bodies are the way to go. Yes.
Night Dakota.
Later, Dakota. Take it easy, dude.
There's still undercoating on the frame of my car. I've not even scraped it off.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't think so. I just painted over it.
You know where Uncle Tony went through and drilled all the holes, scraped all the stuff off.
Right.
That's going to make a difference. It's really going to.
Right.
But something you're going to drive. I've never had undercoating under my car. I don't have to worry about it.
That's what I mean. Like the floors are all not undercoated anymore, but it's frame rails. I mean, like there can't be that much weight there, and if there is, the amount of time it would take me to scrape it off, if I just spent that at a job or working for money and spent that money on parts to make it go faster, I'd be
Yep.
better off gain wise.
Yeah. When I cut my floor out of the Camaro, out of the trunk floor and everything, I took the Rust Defender, or what was it called?
POR 15 or no?
Yes. Yeah, I went through the rear frame rails just to make sure they're not going to rot out on me,
Sure.
and then put the new trunk floor down. That's the only undercoating that car's ever got.
Probably all it'll ever need in your
So-
lifetime or in the next.
Right, right. So I'm not. Yeah, I don't care.
That's what we painted. We undercoated and then painted over that undercoating on my red truck, and literally it's not even got a speck of rust on it anywhere. Even where the rock chips are, there's paint under the rubber, and then there's paint over top of the rubber. So like it's never, not in my lifetime.
Yeah, those, well, they're B stocks, I think they were A stocks or whatever they were at Max Wedge. I've seen that shit. They do a whole lot more to those motors rather than just that little 509 lift.
But it's like
Cylinder heads, bottom ends. I mean, it's insane the stuff they do to make that thing run that number.
that's like the fast guys, the guys that have like the factory appearing stock or whatever.
Right. Well,
It's
no,
like-
they're stickered. They're contingency stickered all over, but they're all stock bottom ends. Only so much lift and this
I was
and that
not
and
told
everything.
that. I mean, they're running like huge cubic inches. Like one of those cars is like a 350 that's like almost a 500-inch small block.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, what the crap, dude? That's not even like. How do you consider that factory appearing? Like, I get it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
know.
lot of cubes.
It's a rich person sport.
Well,
don't
I didn't
really-
know they did all of that. I just know that they did other things to, build the torque where they needed so that they could actually run those ETs.
Right.
I didn't think it was just 509 lift because that's little.
Yeah, that's like stock cams.
Well, today's stock cams.
Right.
My 1990 Silverado was a 390 lift.
God, that's barely getting you down the road.
Well, I mean, it was 260 horsepower, I think. It did an okay job.
Sure.
I
That's
stuck
better.
I did a 415, 446 camshaft in it when I rebuilt it for towing. Gigantic difference in torque.
Really.
Still got better. It actually got better gas mileage with that camshaft than it did with 390.
It's probably because it's breathing better.
Yeah.
I
Still
that's
think
devil's
making me a
right.
good- Factory max wedge cam. Well, I mean that makes sense because what was the 69 or 68 Camaro 350 horse, or 375 horse was a 530 solid. So that sounds about right.
Max, is that unmodified factory cam, or I have seen that all the time. People are like, yeah, it's a factory cam, and they get it welded and reground. It's like, well, it's not factory no more.
Well, it goes from the 114 lobe separation to a 105. So you build horsepower just by doing that because the valve stays open just that little bit longer.
That's why I try not to do any real class racing. I'm like,
A 79 LT1 350. Do you know what the lobe lift was on that?
I
It was a
don't.
whole 290 horsepower.
I don't.
It was like a 430. Oh, 1970, yes, that was that big 530 lift. Solid.
That would be nice.
Yeah, they sounded good and they drove really good too.
Now, Max, how do they check that? That's my question.
Oh man, that's going to be one of those where they probably 198. Really? We're talking in 70, not 79.
Best 350 ever. Yeah.
I would be. Oh man, I don't know how they would check all that. Other
Yeah,
than
because I
just
mean that's what
trusting them.
right. Well, you can't do that with class racers. We
I
figured
know
that out.
that. I'm just
No, I know.
wonder
Well,
how in the hell they would check the lift.
my brother truck pulled for a while in the diesel stuff, and dude, like some of the cheats that people were trying to get away with clearly states in the rules, and like there's rules there, but if you can't enforce them, they're useless.
Exactly.
But they used to
I
have
mean, I know in like NASCAR, they give them this restrictor plate. They watch them bolted on. Blah 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 blah.
right.
You know, as far as a camshaft goes, I mean, yeah, they can hand it to them, but how do they know that's exactly the one they put in?
Right. Maybe they watch. I've actually heard of this. I don't know if this is NASCAR, but I've heard
Later,
of
Damien. Thanks for hanging out, man.
see a first responder. I've heard of them having officials come out to your house while the engine's being assembled
Oh God.
and checking things. I'm like, that's terrifying. I don't know if it was NASCAR. It may have been like a small circuit thing, but I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
know.
think I need to get going.
Me too. That's why I'm getting tired. And I got shaved still.
Oh, fuck all that. I hate shaving. I do, man. That's the reason I grew this, so I don't have to shave.
Well, I get okay,
All
so
of
I
it.
get peach fuzz, and then that's all it does. It won't grow any further.
I was the same way till I hit like 30, and then it grew in.
I'm not going to be able to deal with another 7 years of this BS. Ugh.
All right. Well,
Yep.
take her easy, and I will. We'll catch you sometime Thursday.
Yes, sir. Have a good work week.
All right. Yeah, you too, dude. Take it easy. Later on, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch up with you probably Thursday. If you win, set a record, they tear it down and check it. Okay, that makes sense. See you, Wendy, Dean, Dan. Yes, sir. Thank you. Everybody, take it easy. We'll catch you later.